Minutes for you to go through the notes, discuss with whoever you are sitting with, and after that, we can have the session where we can discuss. Make your friend understand why we need that address, how it should look like, how salutation should be, what is that body of a letter, how do we end the letter, and how should your name be. And as the books come, try to check through to see what exactly you did, whether it's right or wrong. Then remember, a letter has a language, so you are supposed to also mind the language. Check to see what is missing from what you've just checked. Where is your book? Did you bring for marking? Whoever has her book should bring it. Five minutes, we are at minute 3. 2 minutes, you should be through. You look through your work and point out, possibly as we are learning, you point out what you forgot, what you considered. Some people do not seem to have brought books. About 3 people have noted. Someone is writing the composition now, another one is checking in the locker. So it means somebody did not bring their book. Yeah, now, can we point out what you realize that you never did in your work before we discuss what is expected in a letter? What did you forget in your letter? Anyone? Yes.
I did not separate the date and address.
How many did the same? You never separated the date from the address? Okay. So now we know that when you are writing letters, an address is separate from the date. Now, how many wrote the date separate from the address? Did you write it in English or in any other way? Because you are supposed to write it in English. If it is 22nd January 2024, how many wrote it correctly? Yours was? Good. So we are supposed to also note that it should be in English, but not in other format. Now, that is the address. How many wrote the address correctly? Anyone to tell us, why do you think it's correct? Why do you think it's correct? What did it have? What did your address have? Tell us.
First, I started the name of the school.
Name of the school.
I wrote the PO box.
The post office box. Followed by?
Then the place.
Town. The nearest town.
Then the date.
The date is not part of the address as we have agreed, isn't it? But the address should be the name of an institution followed by PO box, which is the post office number. Then you can have the code if you know it, isn't it? Followed by the nearest town. How many wrote the name above the address? Because I saw such. You wrote your name before the institution and so forth. How many did that? So that is that correct?
No.
No, next time when you're writing the addresses, don't begin with your name. Your name is never part of the address. Now, we have finished address and date. What was the next that we are supposed to consider? Yes, anyone to tell us? I want a different person. She has already responded. She has responded. I need a different person. I know all of you are aware about what is expected because I've marked your work and I saw it was there.
Salutation.
Salutation. What do we mean by salutation? What is salutation? Yes? What is salutation? Anyone? Yes. It is? Is it similar to greetings? Yes. Yeah, so you address whoever you are writing to. Dear mom, hello, dad, and all that. That is what we call salutation. Then after salutation, what should we have? After salutation, what should we have? Yes. The body itself. Now, remember we said we are writing back home, isn't it? Yes. So what should your body have? The beginning should have what? Yes. Greetings. Obviously, to create a rapport, whether it is one-to-one or written, we start by greetings. So I expected greetings as part of the content. Anything else you are supposed to do? After greetings, what are you supposed to move to? Yes? Yes? Before the reason, there is something else. Because you've greeted the person. What about? Yeah, how are you doing? So you are supposed to give your status so that they know from the beginning whether you are good or are you well, are you sick? After that, now you can now tell us the next you are giving. The reasons. How many reasons can we have for writing our letter? How many reasons can you have for writing a letter home and you are just a Form 1 who is in school? Yes? 2 reasons. 1 reason. 3 reasons. It varies from person to person. So, for example, 1 reason that you had to write back home. Anyone to give us your reason? Yes? Yeah, so you may be worried. Of course, you are now in school. You are worried about the welfare of the people you left at home. Anything else you would want to write back home to communicate? Yes? Tell them about your new school, possibly facilities. What do they have that you had never seen? What is that is making your life pleasant? Anything else? Yeah. How you are progressing in the new school. Are you being bullied or do you enjoy the school because there is no bullying? Is the service from the teachers all right? From the prefects and the rest of the fellow students? Anything else you would want to tell them? Yes. Maybe you have never been a boarding school, so you are not having fun. You're having a problem where people are making noise during sleeping time. Maybe you don't have a comfortable bed compared to what is at home. Maybe you are not having a good time during bathing. You are forced to bathe from outside. Or possibly you enjoy the big lavatory that you are bathing from. So you may either tell them the challenges or also what you are benefiting from. Anything else? Anything else? Yes. Activities such as? Yes. Games. Maybe you are taking part in athletics or ball games. Yes. Yeah, maybe you are part of the drama club and not drama festival. You are part of the drama club which will go to drama festivals. Anything else you would want to tell them? I saw some of you writing that we will be soon back home for half term. I can't wait to have that. So that is body. As you are ending the very end of the body, what do you have to consider? You are ending your letter. Before you come to the other part, what should you add? Most of you did that. What were you adding? Yeah?
May God be with you.
May God be with you. Any other? Any other ending? Yeah? Yeah, I pass my regards to my sisters, greet everyone. That is a general way to connect to those others you have not written the letter to. Then we have the part 4. Most of you ended the letter with yours what? Yours lovely, your loving sister. Yeah, remember it is informal, so you should not use sincerely or faithfully. Yours lovely, your lovely daughter, your daughter, such words. Then finally, as I've told you, it should be one name, not two. Yeah. So that is actually about a letter. Anyone who wants to ask a question? What do you want to know about the letter, maybe? Anyone who wants to know something about the letter? Maybe you did not score 20. You want to know why you never scored. You can ask from whatever you have. Because most of you scored 13, 12, 11. Others got, there was 15, 16. So anything you want to know about writing letters? Yes? The C. CA. CF. Format. Format is F. When you are writing a letter, it has to have a format. The format is that it must have an address, it must have salutation, it must have a body, it must have a signing off, and signing off must be correct. The date also. It was about 4 marks to 5. Huh? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, most of you are scoring that one right. Then C means content. The content in your work. So when I look at the address, it should be correctly containing all that information. When I look at salutation, it must have that information. But more so, the body must have that part of greetings. It must have the general well-being. The reasons for writing may be 4 or 5, but we can mark up to 3 of them. It must end with, I wish you well. Bye-bye for now. I'll see you later. Greet those back at home. Then I should see this part signing off correctly done. That is the content marks. Then L means language. In English, we focus on language. How do you communicate? Are you articulate? Can someone read your work and enjoy? Don't look for a dictionary and, like I marked one of your compositions. It just had too many vocabularies. But do you think your mother has time to go looking for the meanings? No. In formal letters, you can use some vocabulary, but it should not be too heavy because you want them to get the information very fast. You can have an idiom there. You can have a proverb if you think it matters. Then your language must flow. Some of you are starting but I think last time we agreed that we cannot start sentences with but. Which other word? And another one? Because any other? Also, so I do not expect that you will have that. When I'm looking at language, I'm also looking at punctuation. Start your sentences with what? Capital letters. End your sentences with what? Full stop or? Or? Question mark or? Exclamation mark. When you are pausing, have what? Comma. So I expect that punctuation to be correct. Then the choice of words. Spelling. So that is how you get the language mark. So next time we are writing a letter or any other form of writing, consider that. So I think with this we have already done the assignment. If you feel like you should now rewrite to a different person, you wrote to your father, you can now write to your cousin. You wrote to a sister, you can now write to a brother. So you can rewrite, now that we have learned, considering what we covered. Then next time we'll be looking at sound, r and sound, l. I want you to go read this early. Try to find those words that confuse you. Like we have people who cannot say rat, they say lat. We have people who cannot say which other word? Lorry, they say rolly. Yeah, so I want you to look for words, about 50 of them, whereby people confuse this sound and that. Then you write them down. And if you are also talented in writing poems, you can also try to play around with words with r. But it has to create meaning in your work. So that is what we'll cover tomorrow. Sounds, l and sound. Yeah, that is a very simple lesson. We will have to have you reading, we will give you tongue twisters, and then we work on the lesson. Have a nice time, work on whatever activities we have, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.